Excellencies, distinguished guests, dear colleagues, here at the International Trade Center headquarters in Geneva, Switzerland, and online in Mongolia and across the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Sibylle Neuhaus from the International Trade Center. It is my great pleasure to welcome you on behalf of today's hosts, the heads of the International Trade Center and the Permanent Mission of Mongolia, to the launch event for the World Export Development Forum 2023. The World Export Development Forum, or as we call it internally, in short, WEDEF, you will hear this several times today, I think, is the International Trade Center's flagship event. It is in its 20th year, and we are delighted that we have among our guests some of our former hosts as well. We were in China, in Turkey, in Rwanda, in Ethiopia, in Zambia. So, and this year we will be in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. The WEDEF journey actually started in Switzerland, in Montreux. We're having this launch event for an event today because we find that it's important that we share with you what this World Export Development Forum 2023 will be all about, why it is a good time to gather in Mongolia, and what you will take away from participation in the event in June. And of course, we will also give you a taste of the rich culture of Mongolia. Please stay with us for a live performance by esteemed Mongolian artists with traditional instruments, singing and dance later on. For those who wish to tweet today, please use the hashtag WEDF, just WEDF. Before we proceed to the program with host remarks, messages from Ulaanbaatar, and a closer look at the June program, here is a short clip that shows what WEDEF 2023 offers.
The World Export Development Forum, where businesses, governments, and international leaders gather to talk trade, do business, and drive development. COVID, climate, conflict, and cost of living have reset global trade priorities. Small businesses play a key role in shifting towards resilient economies. Young entrepreneurs and women-led businesses are part of a more sustainable way forward. Join us for the premier global event on trade-led development on 26 to 29 June 2023 as the World Export Development Forum for its 20th edition travels to Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. The conference theme, Diversify with Green Trade, speaks directly to today's global challenges. Mongolia, as the host, is committed to an organic, sustainable, and digital future of trade. Seize this opportunity to feed into global discussions on common trade challenges, hear new perspectives on making trade more inclusive for women and youth, and discover business opportunities to forge partnerships for the future.
To invite our Executive Director, Ms. Pamela Cook-Hamilton, to start off today's program.
Thank you very much, Sibylle. Excellencies, Excellency Madame Ambassador Gailema, thank you so much for joining us. Honorable Excellencies from the various missions in Geneva, honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome and thank you all so much for coming today. We're really excited to have you here today to announce our flagship event. This is the first time that we're having it since I joined, and I joined almost 3 years ago. So that tells you something. The world has been a little different since then. The World Export Development Forum, as you just saw, will be hosted this year in June at the government of Mongolia in Ulaanbaatar. We normally wouldn't host a launch event to launch an event. But these are special circumstances, as I pointed out. Over 20 editions that we've hosted of WEDEF, we have not been at a crossroads like this. Emerging from a pandemic, dealing with the impact of conflict, climate change, and cost of living increases. We all know too well that these crises hit small businesses of developing countries the hardest. Women, youth, and people in vulnerable communities face particular challenges. That's why we're prioritizing these key groups with the launch of a She Trades Hub in Mongolia and a Young Entrepreneurs Pitch Contest at WEDF, and later this year, the design of Mongolia's national export strategy through an inclusive and collaborative process. It was also important for us to hold this conference over the Micro, Small, and Medium-Sized Enterprises Day, MSME Day on 27th June, to also bring attention to the role of small business in driving sustainable trade-led development. The WEDF theme is in line with these priorities: diversify with green trade, exploring organic, digital, and sustainable solutions. Businesses, institutions, and governments will come together to talk trade, do business, and drive development. With Mongolia as our co-host, we're putting a special focus on the Asia-Pacific region, as well as landlocked developing countries. Preparations for this event would not be possible without the active engagement of the government of Mongolia, led by His Excellency Khorelsak Ukna, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, thank you, the Minister of Economy and Development, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the United Nations country team, and development partners in country. For all of us here, I really encourage you to see the World Export Development Forum as a platform to open doors to new markets and new partnerships at a time of great change. This conference is underpinned by partnerships that grow and deliver. I look forward to engaging with all of you here in Geneva and in Ulaanbaatar in the run-up to WEDF 2023 to organize a conference that will have lasting results. I thank you very much.
May I now invite Her Excellency, Madame Damersen Germa, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary, Permanent Representative for Mongolia in Geneva, to the podium. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation and coming to this very important event. It's my great pleasure to welcome you all to the launch event of the World Export Development Forum 2023 to be held in Mongolia. Today, I am honored to present why Mongolia is ideal location for the WEDF and why is perfect time to hold it. First, let's look at the statistic. According to the World Bank data, Mongolia's economy has been growing at an average rate of 6.5% per year since 2010. In 2020, Mongolia's total trade with foreign countries reached $12 billion, with exports increased by 33.3% compared to the previous years. In November 2022, the trade turnover stood at more than $19 billion, with export growth of 26.7% as compared to the same period in the year 2021. This growth in export is evidence of Mongolia's commitment to promoting trade and investment, which aligns perfectly with the echo of the World Export Development Forum. Mongolia's geographic and strategic location provides a unique opportunity for discussing export development and trade diversification. It's a country with a strategic advantage for exporting goods and services, with vast reserve of natural resources and growing manufacturing industry, and located at the heart of Asia. Mongolia is a natural trade hub connecting East and West, making it a perfect backdrop for the forum. The government of Mongolia has demonstrated a strong commitment to sustainable and inclusive economic growth, trade diversification, and job creation by implementing a range of initiatives within the new restoration policy and Vision 2050, which aims to diversify exports and promote the growth of non-mining sector. Those policies promote environmentally friendly and sustainable economic development, which is critical in the context of today's event. Mongolia's commitment to multilateralism and trade is reflected in its involvement in various regional mechanisms, including the Asia-Pacific Trade Agreement and Belt Road Initiative. Mongolia signed a free trade agreement with Japan and exploring the possibility, including concluding similar agreement with other countries. The forum will bring significant benefit to the micro, small, medium enterprises in Mongolia, who are currently make up 97% of all businesses in Mongolia, to contribute around 5.5% of GDP. Therefore, the government has identified micro, small, medium enterprises as a critical sector for economic growth and has been launched a range of export support projects to help those businesses succeed. The VEDEF 2023 will provide an opportunity for micro small enterprises not only to showcase their product and services to a global audience, establish new business relationship, but also provide platform for those businesses to interact with other international business leaders and policymakers, exchange ideas and knowledge to create more supportive and prosperous environment for macro, small, medium enterprises. Coming back to the geographic location of Mongolia, I believe that it's necessary to highlight as a landlocked developing country. Mongolia understands the unique challenges faced by similar nations. The VEDEF can provide valuable insights into how to overcome those challenges and promote sustainable economic development and serve as an opportunity to share best practices and learn from other landlocked and developing countries. In conclusion, Mongolia's strategic location, commitment to sustainable development, and focus on multilateralism and trade make it a perfect location for the World Export Development Forum 2023. I look forward to welcome you all to the VEDEF, and I'll be very happy to see you all in Mongolia. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Madam Ambassador. Before we are taking a closer look at the program of the June event, we're now having some messages from Ulaanbaatar. We're starting with greetings from the Vice Minister of Economy and Development, Mr. Tuvden George Gantumur.
Good morning, business leaders, policymakers, investors, and partners. Greetings from Mongolia. I would like to invite you all to this year's World Export Development Forum in Mongolia, delivered in partnership with the International Trade Center. In the wake of the unprecedented global pandemic, as well as in the current uncertain international economic environment, Mongolia is determined and delighted to host this important forum under the auspices of the President of Mongolia, His Excellency Mr. Khursu Khokhna, in Ulaanbaatar on 27 to 28 of June 2023. The government of Mongolia is intended to make reforms at the policy level to improve foreign trade, economic cooperation, and foreign direct investment. As part of this, the government of Mongolia is implementing a new recovery policy aiming to solve the development barriers, encourage post-pandemic economic recovery, including ensuring food supply and security, enhancing production, import substituting and export-oriented products, increasing the export of services, and supporting private sector's development to enter new markets. Considering the close linkage between trade and the environment, as well as the impact of environmental challenges on the world food and energy supply chain. This year's World Export Development Forum, Mongolia is organized under the Diversify with the green trade, organic, digital, and sustainable. The World Export Development Forum, the flagship annual event of the International Trade Center, has proven itself as an excellent platform for international traders, businesses, and entrepreneurs to discuss the latest issues and solutions around trade and development and strategies, broaden their horizons, and strengthen business relationships. I believe that the results of the forum will be a solid contribution, strengthening cooperation by catalyzing new business deals, generating new ideas, realizing the common goals of the participants from all over the world. Let's talk business, but also do business in Mongolia. See you all at the World Export Development Forum 2023 this June in Mongolia. Thank you.
We thank the Vice Minister. We have two more messages from Ulaanbaatar from different perspectives. We have first up the perspective of the United Nations Residence Coordinator, and we will hear from Mr. Vinod Ahuja, Mongolia's representative or resident coordinator at interim, and he's also the representative of the Food and Agriculture Organization in Mongolia. Mr. Ahuja.
Excellency Mrs. Betsisek Batmuk, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Mongolia, Excellency Mrs. Geralma Davasuran, Permanent Representative of Mongolia to the United Nations Office in Geneva, Ms. Pamela Koch-Hamilton, Executive Director, ITC, distinguished participants, guests, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I would like to thank the organizers for the opportunity to join the launch of World Export Development Forum 2023 Mongolia and make a few remarks on behalf of the UN Resident Coordinator Mr. Tapan Mishra and the UN country team in Mongolia. As we all know, the year 2023 really marks the midpoint of the implementation of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. In the SDG report last year, the Secretary General Antonio Guterres had noted that due to cascading and interlinked global crises and conflicts, the aspirations set out in the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development are in jeopardy. And he called for urgent rescue efforts for the SDGs. And it is in that broader context, I believe, that the theme of this year's World Export Development Forum, which is Diversify with Green Trade, Organic, Digital, Sustainable, is most relevant and timely. We are also pleased that the forum will take place in Mongolia, as this theme is highly relevant to Mongolia's development context. We all know very well the high dependence of Mongolia on exports of coal and minerals, largely to an undiversified export destination, and the country's landlocked status. And this really makes it imperative for the country to vigorously pursue regional cooperation. And then there is also an opportunity to integrate beyond the region through trade and through establishing economic corridor. And these characteristics make the World Export Development Forum highly relevant for Mongolia. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, please allow me just a few moments to illustrate how UN and the government of Mongolia are cooperating in implementing the SDGs, including the issues to be addressed by the theme of this forum. On 20th of May last year, the UN in Mongolia and the government of Mongolia co-signed the UN Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework, or UNSDCF, for the next 5 years, for 2023 to 2027. The UNSDCF represents the joint strategic planning framework for collaboration between the UN and the government of Mongolia. The UNSDCF is also aligned with the national sustainable development priorities that have been set out in Mongolia's Vision 2050. And as the blueprint of the UN's collective work in Mongolia, the UNSDCF plays a transformative role to enable a more coordinated approach to sustainable development with the collective action of the whole of UN. and the government and all stakeholders. In this document, there are 3 strategic priorities. 1, human development and well-being. 2, green, inclusive and sustainable growth. And 3, people-centered governance, rule of law and human rights. The theme of this forum is directly relevant to the priority 2 and can help Mongolia achieve this outcome, which says by 2027, the Mongolian economy is more diversified, innovative, productive, inclusive, green and geographically balanced, enabling decent livelihoods, especially for women and youth, building 21st century skills and promoting low carbon development. And as part of implementing the UNSDCF, the UN Mongolia is currently developing joint work plans. FAO is chairing the results group 2 and it is coordinating the development of work plan for this outcome. And this really is directly linked to the theme of the forum. So I hope and trust that outcome of the forum will contribute directly to this outcome of the UNSDCF. I also want to assure everyone that the UN Mongolia as co-organizer of the forum is fully committed to a successful organization. All relevant UN agencies as members of the UN country team Mongolia, including such non-resident ones such as UNCTAD and UNSCAP, will join forces to make the forum successful and beneficial for participants from all over the world. We will also endeavor to facilitate participation and contribution of relevant development partners in the forum. Mongolia has an active development partners group. This is co-chaired by the UNRC and the World Bank. And using this group, we will try and ensure that the development partners are fully engaged for building synergy and for enhancing the impact of the forum. Finally, we will closely work with the 2 co-organizers, of course the ITC and the government of Mongolia, and we will work together in developing the agenda for the forum and also for the related events. So you can count on the support of the United Nations family in Mongolia in this endeavor. Thank you once again for this opportunity to join this launch event, and I really wish a very successful event today. Thank you.
We thank Mr. Ahuja. Now we turn to the 3rd perspective from Ulaanbaatar. We had the government perspective, the UN perspective and development partner perspective. And now it's the business perspective. The next message is from the Secretary General of the Mongolian National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mrs. Bayaskalan Saranjav. She would have liked to join online, but she is at the moment at the Mongolian-Korean Business Forum in Korea and therefore sends a message.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Mongolian National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I am Bayaskalan Saranjav, General Secretary of MNCCI, would like to express my gratitude to International Trade Center and Embassy of Mongolia in Geneva for organizing this launching event of World Export Development Forum 2023. On this occasion, kickoff of the 20th edition of this signature event of International Trade Center, we are presented with the rare chance to come together and delve into newest advancements and patterns in the world export area. MNCCI has been working for Mongolian business community for more than 60 years with ambitious venture to improve business environment and to make business opportunities in Mongolia more accessible and beneficial for all companies and interested investors. We are a reliable partner for chambers of commerce and trade promotion organizations from more than 120 countries for business matchmaking and privileged partner for the governments of Mongolia for trade and investment. As the COVID-19 pandemic had been caused a negative impact in world economy and global value chain for last years, the World Export Development Forum 2023 is a crucial platform for Mongolia to intensify post-pandemic recovery. Furthermore, Mongolia's economy is heavily relies on the export of mining products, and there is an immediate need to diversify into non-mining exports. By participating in the forum, Mongolia can position itself as a hub for innovation and entrepreneurship and demonstrate its commitment to the growth and development of its non-mining export sectors such as agribusinesses, prioritizing meat, leather, cashmere and pine nuts, and services focusing on tourism and ICT. Particular areas we would like to prioritize are women enterprises and youth businesses. By supporting women-led enterprises, we can contribute to the growth of the economy by ensuring economic inclusiveness and providing gender equality in business competition. Also, with the growing population of young people in Mongolia, we have unique opportunity to tap into their potential and harness their innovative ideas to the drive of economic growth. In order to maximize the potential of Mongolia's businesses, it is essential that we take advantage of opportunities offered by digital technology. This includes using cutting-edge tools and platforms to reach new customers and markets, streamlining operations, and boosting productivity. By harnessing the power of ICT, digital technology, we can help Mongolia's businesses grow and succeed, and this is exactly what we aim to achieve through the World Export Development Forum Mongolia 2023. We would like to extend our sincere gratitude to the International Trade Center for their support and collaboration in making this event possible. This platform will provide valuable insights, meaningful discussions, and enhance business opportunities. We look forward to an efficient and productive World Export Development Forum 2023, positioning Mongolian export industry into regional as well as global market by evaluating our current performance with accurate export strategy. Thank you for your collaboration and continuous efforts on organizing this launching event.
We thank Ms. Bayas-Galan. We now move on to the next part of this launch event today, and with a closer look at the program of the World Export Development Forum in June. And for this, I ask our ITC colleague, Ms. Nathalie Dormeisen, Head of Corporate Publishing and Events, to join me or to take over the stage. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon if you are tuning in from somewhere else. A warm welcome to our past hosts, the current host, our diplomatic community in Geneva, and everyone online in Mongolia. I'm in charge of the program development for the World Export Development Forum, and those who have been to past events know that the program is really designed to spark connections, to build partnerships, and to grow trade. The outcomes can range from bilateral trade agreements to small business deals and development projects in the country and the region. It's not just a conference, it's a platform, it's a springboard for development. It's what we make of it. And the key to all of that is working in partnership. So with that in mind, let me go into the broad program lines. Here you see the program at a glance, which takes place the last week of June. And in that program overview, going from Monday through Thursday, the two central days, Tuesday and Wednesday, are where the plenary sessions take place to diversify with green trade. And on Monday, there are pre-events, and on Thursday, there are capacity building events. Let me step back to Monday, because those events on Monday are as important as the rest of the week. There are two big events going on in parallel. One is the launch of a national sheet trades hub for Mongolia. You've heard the interest expressed to support women entrepreneurs take their place in the global economy. And this hub joins many other hubs that the International Trade Center has set up around the world, where they can work together in terms of policy, in terms of capacity building and training for the young women entrepreneurs. And in parallel to that, we have an LLDC private sector meeting. This private sector preparatory meeting is for an LLDC ministerial conference in Kigali in 2024. And the reason it's taking place, the reason the UN has asked us to do this, is because it's an opportunity to bring the voice of business and the concerns specifically of landlocked developing countries into the international fora. So the idea here is to bring those business people together. Then in the afternoon, we will have business clinics, which are very unique World Export Development Forum idea in bringing together partnerships from the participants and from the actual partners in the program. And they can speak for 15, 20 minutes about ideas that will help young entrepreneurs and tell them, how do you market on social media? How do you deal with packaging? How do you work in setting up e-commerce? And it's just there as an icebreaker so that you have more targeted networking as the week continues. There will be, of course, media briefings during the day and export opportunities to China. There will be a small session on that towards the end of the day before the welcome cocktail takes place. Then on the second day, we have the official opening. That's Tuesday, 27 June, Micro, Small, and Medium-Sized Enterprises Day. And after the official opening with the president, we will have the opening also of a Mongolia exhibition and networking and opportunities to learn more from each other. Then we will move into the first plenary session, Paths to Diversify Trade. This is a session that is broadly designed to support national export strategy, not just that of Mongolia, which is getting underway right now, but from around the world. And it looks at successful solutions in challenging times that various countries or even regions have adopted to go forward. Once we have that broad base in place, in the afternoon, we turn to the young entrepreneurs. And we'll look at how to scale up business with young entrepreneurs, and then turn to one of the most exciting parts of the program, which is our fourth International Young Entrepreneurs Pitch Competition, this year focused on green. And why do I say it's one of the most exciting things? People usually really look forward to this because those young entrepreneurs, in their pitch to win, they bring so much energy and they have a different take on the challenges that face us today, and they really do come up with innovative solutions. And the winners of these competitions in the past have always gone on to win big money because it has leveraged them for other competitions like Seed Stars. But even all of the finalists generally are approached for sponsorships and further business deals as a result of this. And it inspires policymakers who are there, who see how these things work in practice. And then we would leave space in the evening to the host for the cultural event, the cultural dinner, as has been done customarily at all of the World Export Development Forums. Part of the journey is to share in that uniqueness that each culture brings. And then we move to the second day of the plenary sessions. And the first part is to go in conversation to explore in depth what was discussed during that LLDC private sector meeting on day one. So we can talk around the issues that are really specific to trade in LLDCs. Then we would move into a plenary for green trade, and then followed by another one on harnessing digital services for trade. And we did leave a few books outside for anyone who's interested in them on green and on digital. And for anyone who's attended those launch events, you might know we are really promoting the value of connected services and economies, because those economies that are investing in connected services that's the parts of the economies that are growing the fastest. And they're the glue in value chains, as well as a source of innovation and trade development in their own right. And you've heard the Mongolians themselves express interest in ICT, and so we would like to strongly support that in this plenary session. And then finally, to put it all together, how do we make these things happen, particularly for small businesses? Because this is about making small businesses at the center of the economy to make it more inclusive. And so the session is on access to finance. And after that, we'll close. We'll find out who actually won the pitch competition, who will be the next host of the World Export Development Forum, and some of the kind of outcomes that we've heard emerging over the past days. After that, on the Thursday, there will be a capacity building day specifically oriented to small business, and will focus very much on organics, on quality management, certification, market linkages, what are buyers looking for, e-commerce training, and that would last throughout the day, after which we hope that participants will join in field visits and tourism packages. I don't know if all of you know, this is the first year of a Mongolian campaign for tourism to encourage people to come back and enjoy Mongolia. They have a very strong ecotourism base, and it's a very unique and special country that I've had the opportunity to visit once and will be glad to do so again. And with that, if there are questions for the people online, they can send them in the chat. We'll be happy to answer them. Or if you'd like to talk to any one of us from the International Trade Center to work together for the successful completion of this event, we look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you, Natalie. So this program is ever evolving, and we look forward to working with our co-hosts and also with partners on further developing this interesting program of core plenaries and side events. We are almost reaching the end of the official part of of today's launch event. I would like to invite the musicians to already join us now on the stage. And at the same time, I would like to ask the co-hosts, please, to come forward to the table. For an official exchange of the draft of the Memorandum of Understanding to kick off the joint event. If I may ask the host now to please come forward and exchange the letters of agreement. Thank you very much, Executive Director and Madam Ambassador. With this, I would also like to take the opportunity to announce that the registration for the World Export Development Forum is officially opened. And you will find our online participants will find the link, the registration link in the chat. And please visit the ITC website or directly the Indico registration system in the UN context. Before I now hand over to Ms. Zegmid Rösch, Cultural Envoy of Mongolia, to lead you through the program today of these wonderful musicians, I would like to take the opportunity to thank you very much, Excellencies, distinguished guests, dear colleagues in Geneva and online for your time, for having participated in this launch event, and we hope to see you, of course, all in Ulaanbaatar in June. Thank you very much.
Bonjour, hello everyone. Her Excellency Ms. Dawa Sorin-Girilma, Ambassador of Mongolia to UN, and Ms. Pamela Cook-Hamilton, the Executive Director of the International Trade Center. I'm delighted to participate in this special event for the World Export Development 2023. With Mongolian esteemed artists, we are honored to perform Mongolian traditional music, songs, and dance. Let me introduce our artist, Mr. Enkjargal Dandarvanchik, our star, the master of modern core, Ms. Bemba Purupsurung, Mr. Nasanjargal Gambold, Mr. Yusungirden Bat. The scene and beauty of the Mongolian steppe and vastness are in front of your eyes in this traditional concert, only after only a few beats or notes. Enjoy. our last music and dance piece. And if you want to dance with us, please, welcome.
I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to the government of Mongolia for a free concert. And I mean, thank you so much. And if there's, as they say, if music be the food of life, play on. Please play on. Thank you. Have a great day.